Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? It's your boy JCG. Welcome back to the lounge. So, we have to talk about this. We need to talk about the newest fighting game announced by PlayStation and Arc System Works, as well as Marvel Games, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, or as I'm going to call it, Marvel Fighting Souls. And fam, if you see my reaction, you know how excited this got me. You know how hyped I am that this got revealed. This has been something that I have been talking about all the way back since the beginning of my channel. The very, maybe not the very start of my channel, but definitely I said in one of my earlier videos that Marvel needs to get back to the fighting game genre. We need a new Marvel fighting game because Marvel vs. Capcom is going to come back. I believe we will see a true Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but right now we were grateful to get the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. Basically, I talked about that game on the channel too. I did an unboxing for the Nintendo Switch version. All the OG MVC games in one package. Thank God that happened. And but a new Marvel vs. Capcom probably won't be coming for a long time. So I've been saying Marvel needs to get back into doing fighting games again. They need to go to some other developer aside from Capcom who can deliver a fantastic fighting game experience. And lo and behold, they went to ArcSys, one of the best fighting game developers of this generation. I am not even kidding you. They're the ones behind Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, Dragon Ball Fighters, even though I never played that game because I'm not a Dragon Ball fan, but that game has gotten a lot of goodwill. A lot of people love Dragon Ball Fighters. They did another one of my all-time favorites, DNF Duel, and they even did a game that I recently got into, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. And Arc System Works is a trusted developer. Not everything that they come out with is going to be fire, but or even something that I'm into. But regardless, they are truly one of the best fighting game developers out there today. And it excites me that Marvel and PlayStation decided to collaborate with them. And while this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive, PlayStation and PC exclusive, I should say, that just gives me another reason to get a PlayStation 5, because I've been saying that I've been wanting to get one for a long time. So, yeah. And what we're going to talk about today is we're going to do a roster wish list, a character roster wish list of Marvel heroes and villains who I would say either need to return from previous fighting games, or we need ones who have never appeared in a fighting game before, because trust me, there have definitely been some Marvel characters who have never had a fighting game appearance before, and we're about to list them all off in this video today. So fasten your seatbelts, people, because this is going to be a pretty long list. I'm not even going to lie to you. This is going to be a long list. I want to name off all the characters that I want to see in Marvel Fighting Souls, because now that this isn't going to be like a crossover with Capcom or any other franchises, this is a purely Marvel Universe fighting game, which means all the characters from across the Marvel Universe, whether it be the Avengers, the X-Men, Defenders, we can all put them on the table, because who knows, this game is probably going to have a big roster. I hope it has a big roster. Probably around like 30 characters. If we can get that many characters in a 4v4 tag team fighting game, I will be happy. So yes, let's not waste any time. Let's list off all the characters that I want to see in Marvel Fighting Souls. So before we begin and get into my list, let's get one thing out of the way first. With the popularity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, there are some characters who we don't even need to name right now. We don't even need to list them off, because we already can guarantee that they're going to make it into the game. Characters like Black Widow, Thor, Hawkeye, Hulk, probably even in terms of like villains, Loki, and maybe even Thanos. Although Thanos, we'll talk about him later. But you know, characters like that, even Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Vision, like characters like them, I expect to be in this game. Like I kind of have a feeling ArcSys is already going to choose them for this type of game. So I won't really mention them, but what I want to do is mention some characters who are just my personal favorites, and they probably haven't had the chance of being in a fighting game ever, or they just haven't been in a Marvel fighter for a long time. So let's start off with like just some easy ones. We already got Storm, so that's a confirmation of X-Men characters. And that means we're most likely going to see Wolverine. Put my boy Wolverine in the game. Please, ArcSys. Please put Wolverine in the game. Again, probably like an easy one, because most people would assume that he's going to come into the game. It would be a shock if Wolverine did not get in this game, or if he was like saved as DLC. I don't think you can do Wolverine as DLC. You really can't, because Wolverine is such an iconic Marvel character, easily one of the big faces of the Marvel universe, not just X-Men, but of Marvel, period. So yes, please bring Wolverine into this game. But not only that, we also have to get some other iconic X-Men in here. Characters who have already gotten fighting game experience, like Magneto, Gambit. Those are two of my favorite characters. We need to bring in some more villains into this game, since so far we only have Doctor Doom. But Magneto, he's definitely a fan favorite among X-Men Marvel fans. And Gambit, I just love my boy Gambit. I love staff-wielding characters, plus he can also throw the cards. He can charge up the cards and throw them at his opponents. So yes, those are definitely some picks that ArcSys should consider for this game. As far as other X-Men characters go, we need to talk about a character who has never, ever made an appearance in any fighting game. He's made an appearance in other Marvel video games, but we've never seen this character utilized in a fighting game, mainly because he could be one of the more trickier characters to pull off, but that just what makes him appearing in a game like this more exciting. I'm talking about my boy Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler, man. Think about the possibilities of Nightcrawler just teleporting all over the screen. And you know, he's a big fan of swords, so you can already like have an idea of how Nightcrawler is going to play. So yes, we need him in this game. He honestly is a must-have for a game like this. We're not quite done with the X-Men just yet, because there's one more girl, one more female X-Men member that I would love to see return. She's been in Marvel vs. Capcom before, but she is one of my all-time favorite superheroes, all-time favorite female heroes, and I love her so much. I want to see her in a game like this. I'm talking about my purple-wearing, sword-wielding woman, Psylocke. Yes, baby, Psylocke, my wife. But yeah, Psylocke is such an awesome character, and she definitely was a character who I enjoyed playing a lot in Marvel Superheroes and MVC2. So yes, Psylocke needs to make a comeback in this game. She's already in Marvel Rivals, and they gave her some really good designs in that game. So honestly, they could just pull majority of the Marvel Rivals roster into this game, but yeah, that would be sick if they could actually pull that off. I don't know if they will, but yeah, Psylocke, we need my girl to come back. I want my sword wielding character in this game. And speaking of sword wielding characters, let's talk about another character who never had a fighting game appearance. He was this close to being in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but he was cut at the last minute. And I'm talking about my boy, half human, half vampire, Blade. Blade, Wesley Snipes, remember? Remember when he came back as Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine? Spoiler, by the way, if you haven't seen that movie. But yes, Wesley Snipes came back as a cameo as Blade in that movie, and Blade's popularity definitely has grown over the years. Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't doing anything with their Blade movie right now, but that's a discussion for another time. So, but yeah, Blade, he's a character he's made to be in a fighting game. He's definitely been in other Marvel games. He's been in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 3. So, it is pretty shocking how he hasn't made an official fighting game appearance at this point. But now's the perfect opportunity. Blade should definitely come into the game. He can be like a rushdown character who focuses a lot on sword mix-ups and maybe even utilize some guns. Kind of like the Hitman from DNF Duel. So yeah, that's kind of like how I envision him playing. And getting back on characters who've never been in a fighting game, we're going to talk about my boy Daredevil. And Daredevil's popularity is definitely big right now. I just recently reviewed the, excuse me, the Daredevil Born Again series on Disney+. Daredevil is back in Marvel television, back on the silver screen. And, you know, Daredevil's just one of my favorite Marvel heroes of all time. And, you know, he's never had a fighting game appearance. And I think he definitely deserves it this time. If they don't put Daredevil in this game, people will cry. I would not be happy if Daredevil did not make it into the cut of this game. Like, maybe as DLC, but, you know, why pass him up for the base roster? He just feels like he belongs in the fighting game at this point. And because we're on topic of Defenders, bring back my boy Iron Fist. Please bring back Iron Fist, because he was in, the only time Iron Fist was ever in a fighting game was Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And he was cool. He's a pretty fun character to play. But, you know, Iron Fist has kind of fallen off in terms of like, okay, I won't say that he hasn't been in many video games recently, because he did appear in Marvel vs. I'm sorry, not Marvel vs. but Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. And yeah, he's been in some other media lately. So I would say we definitely deserve to have Iron Fist come back in the fighting game, because if they can put Lin Lee Iron Fist in Marvel Rivals, then I would say we need to bring back the character for Fighting Souls. And I don't even care if it's Lin Lee or Danny Rand. I just want an Iron Fist in this game. So please, please bring in Iron Fist. We need the iconic yellow and green martial artist in this game. Let's see, who are some other characters who we should name off? Probably could put this up there with like the other Avengers that I mentioned earlier in the video, like Black Panther. You know, I would love to see Black Panther come into this game, because the only time he's been in a fighting game was in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and while that game from a gameplay perspective was pretty decent, we all know how Marvel Infinite turned out. So yeah, Black Panther definitely should be put in this game. T'Challa, please make it T'Challa Black Panther. Nova, you know, Nova has been in Marvel vs. Capcom before. He was in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and he was in Marvel Infinite. And Nova's definitely one of my favorite superheroes. So yes, please bring in that cosmic level superhero for this game. Please, we need. I mean, we already got Star-Lord. So, and maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see some other Guardians of the Galaxy characters as well. So yes, Nova needs to come into this game. But you want to know who else, in terms of like cosmic heroes, we need to see into this game? The Fantastic Four. I mean, This is a 4 versus 4 tag team fighter. And if you're going to have 4 characters on the screen, there's no excuse for it. You need to bring in the Fantastic Four. You must bring in the Fantastic Four. Even if we don't get all 4 members, I at least need my boy Ben Grimm, the Thing. Please. That big body, heavyweight, just like roughhouse character. I know Hulk is probably most likely going to come to this game, but if I had to choose one big body hero over another, I would go with my boy the Thing. I always love the Thing. His catchphrase, "It's clobbering time." Yes, we need the Fantastic Four into this game. If not, just put my boy the Thing in, so at least one member from that group is represented. And speaking of the Fantastic Four, because they got a brand new movie coming out next month, then we gotta bring in a character who never had a fighting game appearance, and that's Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer, iconic alongside the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom. And, you know, Silver Surfer is just such a fantastic character in the comics, and his abilities, the fact that he can pretty much fight his opponents while on his surfboard. Yes, Silver Surfer needs to be included in Fighting Souls. Like, you gotta put a character like him into the game. You just have to. And now to wrap up the list of newcomer heroes for this game and characters who just never appeared in a fighting game before. This character who I'm about to list off, he's had very few media appearances in general. Like, he's definitely been in some other video games like Marvel Superhero Squad, but he's a more obscure character. He's not even an A-list or B-list hero, but he's one of my favorites. If you're a deep Marvel lore nerd like I am, then maybe you probably heard of him. Or maybe you're like me and you discovered him from Marvel Superhero Squad. And he's a character who pretty much defines my childhood and my love of dinosaurs. And of course, I'm going to talk about my boy Reptile. Reptile, definitely like I said, obscure character, not very well known. But the thing about what makes Reptile cool is that he has this crystal that he can utilize to transform parts of his body or his whole body into a dinosaur form. So he can get like raptor claws, a stegosaurus tail. Reptile is one of the most awesome characters ever created, and because his superpowers are all dinosaur gimmicky, then yeah, putting a character like him in a video game like this will make for some of the most sick, frenetic gameplay we've seen because he can utilize his dinosaur powers in the fight. Imagine him just whipping a huge T-Rex or Stegosaurus tail at the opponent and then doing like Wolverine's Berserker Barrage but with raptor claws. Just think about the possibilities. I'm telling you. Put Reptile in this game. That probably won't happen, but I would love to see Reptile make a comeback to mainstream Marvel in some way, shape, or form. We're not done with this list just yet, folks. We are not done with this list yet. Let's mention some more villains. We already talked about Magneto. He feels like a must for this game. If you're going to have X-Men related characters, you got to put Magneto in there. Who are some other iconic Marvel villains that we could put in there? You got Spider-Man villains like Venom. I would like to see Venom return in a game like this because he's already had his time in Marvel vs. Capcom, and it would definitely be cool to see how Arc System Works does a character like Venom. So yes, he should definitely be in this game. But as far as other Spider-Man villains go, we've never seen the Green Goblin in a fighting game before, right? We've seen him in other video games, definitely. I think the last time he was playable in a video game was Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. And yeah, Green Goblin would make for a super fun character to play as in a game like this. And plus, Spider-Man could use more of his rogues gallery in a roster of a fighting game, because I think he's only ever had Venom. So yeah, we need a character like Green Goblin to diversify that side of the Marvel Universe roster. So yes, put Green Goblin and Venom in this game. As far as other villains go, one that has not made a fighting game appearance yet, but she has gotten some more popularity because of the MCU and because she's playable in Marvel Rivals right now. Hela, a Thor villain. Like, Loki is most likely going to be guaranteed, but if I had to choose another Thor villain, we gotta bring in Hela, because she's like the only other well-known Thor villain, and Hela's a really cool character, from her design to basically just like what she can do. She can summon blades and just throw them at the opponents. So yeah, Hela is a great character, and I definitely would like to see her in Fighting Souls. And let's see, other villains. This is going to be a little bit out there, but these next two options I'm about to list off. If I had to choose an Iron Man villain, I would say let's bring in the Mandarin. The Mandarin, I would say, is a perfect choice for a fighting game. Why? Because he's got the 10 rings. And the 10 rings all they all have different abilities. Now, depending on how ArcSys decides to go about it, they could adapt the MCU version of Mandarin, where the 10 rings are not like individual rings with their own power sets. They're kind of just like, the armbands that I think a sect of Chinese warriors use in combat. But I kind of don't want them to go with that version, because even though I like the Shang-Chi movie and I like that version of Mandarin, we need to do the common version, because think about Mandarin using his 10 rings and all the different powers that they have in a 4 versus 4 fight. It would be insane. Mandarin would be a great pick for a fighting game.
Hey, real quick, I just want to point this out. I did mention Thanos earlier in the video, and while I think it is a possibility they could bring him back, what if they were to bring in his Black Order members? Talking about characters like Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, Ebony Maw, or Cull Obsidian. I would actually love to see these guys in the game too. These are just some honorable mentions to throw out there.
And there you have it, folks. That is my wish list for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. My big character wish list of both old characters who've been in fighting games and characters who've just never had fighting game appearances. These are all the characters who I want to see in this game. And I guess if we had to throw in some honorable mentions, we could get characters like Taskmaster and Cable. They've been in Marvel vs. Capcom before, so I would like to see them come back in a game like this, as well as a couple other newcomers like my boy Scorpion, another Spider-Man villain, probably one of my most favorite Spider-Man villains. Scorpion could be in a game. I mean, he's already in Marvel Contest of Champions. And Medusa, because Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, is in this game, so that's kind of somewhat Inhuman representation. So put Medusa in this game, because the Inhumans have kind of been missing from a lot of Marvel stuff recently. So yeah, why not bring the Inhumans back? But yeah, that's my big list, fam. I'm so excited for this game. Like, I'm literally over the moon. I'm still trying to process this game. I'm still trying to convince myself that this is real. Like, this is actually happening. I've been saying this for years. We need a pure Marvel Universe fighting game again. Marvel needed to get back to this genre. And I'm so happy that they're doing it with Arc System Works. And I'm going to be covering this game a lot, fam. I'm going to be, any announcement that comes out, any little snippet of news that we get of it, I'm going to cover it. I'm going to talk about it, whether that be in a video or short or even a community post. I will be talking about this game a lot. Like this may just be the primary game on my channel going forward, but hey, I'm happy for it. But yeah, tell me your thoughts below. What did you think of the characters that I listed off? Are you looking forward to this game? Are you a Marvel fan like me, or are you just a fighting game fan like me and you're happy to have a tag team fighting game like this? 4 versus 4. That's still insane. That's so insane. I can't believe they're doing that. But yeah, tell me your thoughts on this below. What characters would you like to see? What X-Men characters, Defenders, the Fantastic Four, who would you like to see in this game? And yeah, just like the video if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. Subscribe to join the lounge because you know I'm going to be covering this and more fighting game related stuff in the future. So yeah, thanks a lot guys. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This has been your boy JCG, and I'm going to get out of here. God bless. I will see you all later. Deuces.